Hello, Advent. Happy Friday. I have three great updates to bring you for this weekend. First of all, hopefully you know we are just in the weeks following the climax of our home campaign, which is part of our effort to secure a permanent space in the city for worship and ministry for multiple generations. We had a wonderful Pledge Sunday a few weeks ago, and now we are in the midst of looking at the pledge cards that are coming in, and I'm excited to report that we've had around 90 pledges made, and that represents roughly 250 people in our congregation who have said that they want to be a part of this and are giving sacrificially toward it. So very exciting. This is everything that we were hoping for, that this is something that everybody in our church could participate in. So if you've made a pledge, we're so thankful for your willingness to do that. If you're somebody who is still wanting to make a pledge, we are still receiving pledge cards, and you can fill out one and drop it in the offering box when you come to church on Sunday, or you can do that digitally by going to the website and filling out a digital pledge card. Either way is totally fine. This weekend, meaning starting this Sunday, we are beginning our giving season. So many of you have already started giving to fulfill your pledges, but if you haven't started giving yet, this weekend is when we are officially launching this phase of the campaign. So we'll be talking more about that on Sunday. And then in another week, so March 13th, we're actually going to be announcing the total results that we have so far. So we'll give the total number that we have pledged toward this campaign, and then we're going to celebrate by having a potluck meal after the service. And so we're going to be assigning dishes based on last name. So look for more information about that, but very excited about that. That information is going to be in the Friday email. So that's the first thing, the home campaign. Keep praying for this. As we are talking to our realtors and starting to lay out a plan, now that we know more what we have to work with and beginning to look at spaces and buildings more seriously, just keep us in your prayers, and we will keep you up to date with any updates that we get. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, this Sunday we are having an event about the situation with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And we're lucky enough to have in our congregation, one of our members is the Wall Street Journal columnist and foreign policy expert, Walter Russell Mead. And he is going to be interviewed by a member of our pastoral team, Jeff Bailey, who is also the canon for the Diocese of Christ Our Hope, who focuses on leadership development. So it's going to be a conversation between the two of them, and then we're going to bring in some other members of our congregation who have expertise in this area. And the goal of this event is to do a few things. First, it's just to be a kind of explainer, to kind of bring us up to date on what's happening right now. We're also going to talk a little bit about the history of this conflict and why it's happening, how to understand it in its context. And I think most importantly, we're going to be talking theologically and biblically as Christians. How should we think about something like this happening in the world? What is a Christian response to this kind of thing? So that's going to be this Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Zoom. So really encourage you to come and be a part of this. I think it's going to be a great conversation. It's the kind of thing that we would love to do more and more and more. So we'll see how it goes this weekend. But I'm very much looking forward to that. I'll be there. So looking forward to seeing you for that. And then lastly, we're having an event that is for our whole diocese, that is a part of the Gospel and Culture Initiative in our diocese, which is something that I help to lead. And this is going to be an event, very appropriately, focusing on death and dying, on mortality. It's a Lenten theme that we're picking up. It's going to be on Monday, March 21st at 1 p.m. This is going to be a Zoom event, so you can tune in wherever you might be. Monday, March 21st at 1 p.m. And the event title is called To Dust You Shall Return. And the question we're asking is, how do we think about what it means to be human as we contemplate the fact that we age and will one day pass away? How do we think about death and dying as Christians? And we're going to take into account the cultural narratives around death and dying, and we're going to take into account our kind of prevailing narratives in healthcare and in science about death and dying. And then we're going to talk about the Christian narrative and how we make sense of suffering and mortality and creatureliness. So I think it's going to be a fascinating conversation. Theologian Julie Candless, who was with us for our Synod event last fall. She's going to be with us, and she's going to be interacting with the physician and theologian Far Curlin, who has thought and written a lot about these topics. And they're going to be considering how Christians can respond to illness and death, not merely as threats to our humanity, but as an essential part of human vocation and a part of what it means to live out all of life and live every aspect of our life wholly in God's presence. And so very much looking forward to that. Hope you can join us for that. So as you can tell, a lot is going on in the life of our church. I'm so thankful for you. I'm so excited to see you this weekend in worship. I've spent time praying for you this morning, as I do every Friday, and I just want you to know how much I love you. Until I see you, God bless you.